What's up, YouTube? Mike from Mass here, Mass Aquariums, and tonight I want to do a video. I talked to my buddy, my boy, Captain Hefe, J.W. Heiser, and he just did a video on water changes and what not to do. Little mistake you can make. Now, I've done water change videos before, but tonight I'm going to take you step by step on how to do a good water change on your aquarium, because I know all you guys watching my channel, you probably know your water change routine and so on and so forth. But there's a lot of new people out there that will YouTube how to do a water change because, you know, maybe they really don't know how to do a proper water change. Now, like I always say, I don't have a master's degree in water changes, but I'm going to show you what I do for my tank and what I think will work for your tank. So there's a few things you're going to need. Well, number one, most important, a gravel vac. A little pump helps to start the siphon so you don't have to suck water out of the tube. Trust me, get yourself the $4.99 pump and don't even bother sucking that water out. It's going to save you a lot of spitting. You're going to need a scraper for your glass. Now, I like to use a nice sponge one to get some of the just lighter debris off your glass. I also like to use a razor blade to get some of the, say, green spot algae. Now, everybody's going to say it has a perfect tank. I don't have any green spot algae. Well, it's there. It's everywhere. You might have hardly any, or you might have a ton. I don't have a whole lot, but I'm super OCD about my tank. If I even have 2 or 3 spots, I like to take a razor blade and you just scrape it right off. Perfect, no problem. Scissors, especially for a planted tank. A nice pair of scissors. While you're doing your water changes, this is when you want to trim some of your plants, get some dead leaves off, trim your valve, anything you want to propagate. This is the time you want to do it. While you're doing the water changes, while you're stirring the substrate around, this is the time to do it. Tongs. Nice pair of tongs. I have all different sizes. This is one of my small pairs. I have a pair that is this big. I have all sizes, and I love to have this around. It's perfect to when you propagate or when you're digging around in your tank. You don't have to scoop your hands down in there. You can just take this and grab anything you need. Perfect tool. So, my boy, Captain Hefe, he did a big mistake. He went out and took a little break while the water was draining from his tank, and he drained too much water. That's a big no-no. He's got the video up. He's already told you what not to do. I'm going to tell you something else what not to do. But I'm going to walk you through my whole process of a water change. I'm going to try to make this video super quick, but you know I like to ramble, so here we go. So, I already have a little bit out. Now, when you do a water change, I don't like to do... You're going to watch so many videos where they say 50%, 80%, 70%. If your tank is balanced, I say do no more than 20, 30% max in your tank. Now, what I like to do is I like to take about, let's say this is a 75-gallon tank. I like to take about 5 to 7 gallons out, and then I'm going to start doing my maintenance. I'm going to start scraping the glass. I'm going to get all the algae off. I'm going to trim my plants, do the works, and then I got buckets. Now I'm going to start my water change, or continue my water change. And all you do is you're going to stick your vac in here. You're going to start, boom, look at that. No water sucking, no nothing. Just squeeze that pump a couple times, boom. Now, for my case, I have dirt substrate, so I am not going to gravel vac the substrate a whole lot. I might take a little bit of detritus off the bottom, but I don't have a whole lot anyway, so I'm not going to go too nuts. So I am going to move this around. I've already trimmed some of my plants, so there is some stuff floating around. I'm going to try to catch it all. I might go down into the bottom, maybe do a little gravel vac, but you can see there's absolutely nothing coming up. If the camera's showing it, look, there's no poop, there's hardly anything. You know, it's just gravel. My plants, the amount of plants I have in my tank is taking care of all of this. Perfect. But, so I'm just going to move this around, try to get a bunch of floating debris if there's any. And then usually what I do is I like to let it sit there while it's draining the water. I'll take my algae brush and I'll do the glass. And I like to go around the whole tank. And you don't have to go too crazy because, you know, you're not doing this once every 6 to 8 weeks. You're doing this every week. So your glass shouldn't be too crazy anyway. Squeeze it off. Boom, just like that. Super simple. So, you're going to just go around, suck out some water, get the debris, try to get it up in the siphon. If you need to gravel vac the substrate, now's the time to do it. And I'll be right back, and I'm going to show you the rest. Alright, so folks, water's out. Now's the time to pull off anything you have for a filter. Now I run a canister filter, so this is the intake, you know, basic intake for a canister filter. And I have my water, and I'm going to use a pipe cleaner. And I like to just, you know, scrub this clean. Because, folks, what's one of the most important parts of your whole fish tank? Your filter. Your filter takes care of everything. So take care of your filter. It doesn't take but 2 seconds to pull this thing off, rinse it out in the water, and I like to do both my intake and my outtake. Now, Fluval has a great canister filter that all these pieces come off super quick. And all I'm doing is I'm taking the water that I just took out of my fish tank, and I'm rinsing these off, and I'm just scrubbing them with a pipe cleaner. They all come apart super easy. It doesn't take but a minute or less, and it helps with the flow of your filter from clogging up. If you just do this real quick every time you do a water change, you're not going to have flow problems. You're not going to have clogging problems where now you're doing a major cleanup job on the 6-month time, where you can just do it for, boom, I'm done. A minute or less, and I put them back on. They're ready to go. Very important part. Clean your intake and your outtake. Pull them off. Rinse them out in the aquarium water. You can go up to the sink if you want, and it really takes 2 seconds. That's a really important part of the water change, as far as I'm concerned. So, now I will show you how we fill this baby back up. Okay folks, this might be a little loud, but this is what you get when you refill your tank. Now I have a pipe on, which will bring water into my tank. Now what I also have is an electronic meat thermometer, which will get my temp of the water exactly where it needs to be. So it's constant 78. That's right where my temp is on my water. I've got this dialed down pretty perfect. So you just flip this. And now your tank is filling up with water. I know that was a hassle to watch me do that, but that is important. See, now I like to put the exact temp of the water that my tank was running at into my tank. I also like to keep the water flow above where the water is. I like to aerate the water as it's going into the tank, to gas it off, if you will. Now, you can research, you know, anything you want to research. This is what I do for my tank. This is what works. Now, this is the best time to add your dechlorinator, your stress coat, your prime, whatever kind of product you're using to dechlorinate your water. This is the time to do it. Now, I dose the entire tank. I don't just dose what the recommended dose is for how many gallons I've taken out of the tank. I dose the entire 75 gallons. Now, if you've watched this video so far and you've put up with my rambling nonsense, I forgot to leave, well, I left one important fact out. When you start your water change, unplug everything. Unplug your filter, your heater, your circulation pumps, anything that you have going, unplug it. Now, I have all my stuff on a strip, so I just turn it off, boom, it's off. I have my CO2 and solenoid on a timer, which is also off, unplugged. You got to make sure you unplug everything that you have on your tank when you're doing a water change. You don't want your heater still plugged in, you don't want your feeder, your filter, sorry, you want everything unplugged. And that's about it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I didn't bore the shiznit out of you. I hope anyone who's looking to get into the aquarium that has a nice tank, that wants to know how to do water changes, this is how you do it. Now, my boy, Captain Hefe, he did the mistake of when he was taking his water out, he left and he took way too much water out. Now, I'm going to give you the opposite. Now that I'm filling up my tank, I will not leave my tank. No matter how much I want to go out and smoke a butt and take a chill, because I know how much time it takes to fill up my tank, I'm not going to leave my tank right now, because trust me, I've left it before, and when it overflows by a ton, and it makes your whole house, your living room, your basement, wherever you're filling up your tanks, a mess. So, hope you got some info out of this. This is Mike from Mass. I'm out.